Hello everyone, welcome back to this channel. In today's video, I'm going to explain how to customize SharePoint list command bar's download button using SPFx extension. Now let's get into the video. So here you can see I have a SharePoint document library named HR documents which is containing some of the Excel files. Here if I select any one or two items, you can see the download button, right? So what it actually do when we click on this download button, it will only download those files. But I have done one more thing. Like if I click on the download button, I can able to see this Patty Finance who is logged in user is downloaded these two files. And also when I click on OK, after some time I will get, so this will be downloaded. After downloading, you can see I will get an email notification like, hi Harita, we are informing that this particular user, Patty Finance, has downloaded these two files from this SPFX development. So if I click on that, on which SharePoint site that user got downloaded those files, I can get to know. But if we check the normal document library, if I click on any files and download, so this is the normal functionality. It won't show any alert message. It will simply download that file. I won't get any notification that someone downloaded this one. So why we have customized this thing like this? So recently we were working for a client on document management system, where we are allowing the guest users into this document library so they can upload the files into this one. Since that document library is having the sensitive information, we thought of tracking these files when someone downloaded those files. So I thought it will be useful to share as a video. So if you want, you can also achieve this type of functionalities. To achieve this one, I have used SharePoint framework list view command set extension. So I have already written the code. We will discuss how I have achieved that one, everything in this video now. I hope you know how to create SPFX list view command set extension. If you don't know, no need to worry. In the description box below, I will provide a blog post link where I have mentioned all these details clearly. Now we will see here this list view command set extension. Whenever we are creating, it won't ask us to choose the framework. So by defaultly, it is choosing the no framework only. So that's why here I don't have any React component related things. I only have .ts file and manifest.json file. Now let's discuss starting from the manifest.json file. So here you can see there is an ID which is indicating the GUID or unique ID for the solution, and alias is nothing but this extension name, that is custom download command set. I provided the name like this, and the component type is extension, and the extension type is list view command set extension. And now let's come to this items property. So in this items property, by defaultly command 1 and command 2 will be there. So this what this list view command set will do in the SharePoint library. If you want to add any custom buttons in this command bar, this is the overflow command bar and this is the primary command bar. And also if you want to add into this context menu also, for customizing all this context menu on command bar, we are using this list view command set extension. So that's why only by default they have provided command 1 and command 2. But here our requirement is not adding the custom buttons. Instead, we want to customize the existing buttons, right? So we are not changing anything. I kept as it is only. Now let's come to this custom download command set .ts file. So this is the file where we are going to provide our main logic. Here also I didn't change the code which is defaultly there. Additionally, I just added to customize the existing download button. So by defaultly, you can see the base list view command set class we are extending. So this is the class which is containing all the methods and the classes related to customize the list view and library view. And we are also importing the list view command set parameters and changed event arguments, so that we will get to know when we change something, like when we select one item or multiple items, we can easily track how many items we have selected and the selected item details also. And here I am using the Microsoft Graph Client V3. Why? Because I am sending the email to a particular user, right? Whenever I am downloading the file to achieve this sending email things, we are using this Microsoft Graph Client V3 version. And here by default, some custom properties are there. This is like sample 1 and sample 2. Those values are coming from this in the config folder under the server.json. You can see one item is selected. And when we click on the command 2, it will show this command is always visible. I hope you already know before only how to use the list view command set. So that's why I'm not explaining all those things. At starting only, I created one email recipient constant. So here I'm providing my email address. You can provide your own email address so that you will get notified who downloaded those files. Let me briefly explain. By defaultly, this .ts file will contain three files. One is on init method, and the another one is on execute, and the third one is the on list view state changer. So when this on init method will trigger is whenever the list view command set is loaded into that particular SharePoint library, then this method will be triggered, and whatever code we have written that will be run. So at starting, what this code is doing, this log files is there, right? Whenever we are performing some actions in the console, you can able to check all the logs like what is performing, what is going on. So for that one, here they have mentioned initialized custom list command bar set. And then here we can see compare command one const variable is there. The type is the command. Using the try get command method, we are retrieving the command one. Remember in the manifest.json file, I have explained this command one and command two buttons are there, right? Those commands only. Here using this try get command, we are retrieving. After retrieving, we are making its visible property to false. And then in this on init method, so by defaultly command one won't be visible. This dot context dot list view will retrieve our current list view, and then list view state changed event will trigger whenever we have select an item or deselect. This event will be trigger. For that event, we are providing this dot on list view state changed. So when something got changed, we are calling this list view state changed method. And then so these are the default code. Here what I have done, additionally I have created one attach download click handler method, and that method I'm calling in this on init method, and it will return the promise once it is resolved. Now we will see what this on list view changed method is doing. Then we will discuss our custom logic I have added. So in the on list view state changed method, we are getting both command one and command two and storing into this one, and I'm making both the commands visible as a false. So we won't see this command 1 and command 2 in the command bar. Now, this is our main logic. Whenever our list view command set extension is loaded, we are calling this attach download click handler method. So this method is responsible for finding the SharePoint's defaults download button in a document library view and attaching our custom logic when the button is clicked. So before that, let me show you one thing. Since we are modifying the existing buttons in the command bar, we have to find out its unique ID. Then only we can access that button and we can provide our custom logic. So to get that one, just right click on it. You can see this inspect button, right? Just click on it. So here you can able to see all the buttons, whatever the things we are getting. This is like HTML page only. When we are clicking this one, we can access that particular items. So here I have selected two items, so I can able to see the download button, right? Now let me click on this first one, this first icon. I will click on the download button. I have clicked it. So here you can see this button is having data automation ID, which is the download command. So this is the button where this download button is telling. So we have to copy this data automation ID equal to download command. So this is the unique identifier for this download button. So after copying this one, save somewhere, we will use that code in our SPFx. Now we will see in this attach download click handler method what we have written and what it is performing. So at starting, I have created an arrow function which is the attach handler. So within this, I am retrieving this download button. So if you remember previously, we have copied this download command, right? That one I have provided here. Using the query selector as a HTML element, we are retrieving the download button and storing into this variable. And then before adding one event listener, like when we are clicking that button, we need to perform some actions like showing alert message and sending email. So for that reason, first I am checking whether that download button is present or not. If it is present, did we already added event listener or not? So why I am checking in case if we already providing next time when we click multiple event listeners will be triggered. So to avoid that one, to avoid that duplicate listeners, I am first checking that it is having or not. If it is not having, then we are using set attribute. So using that, we are adding this listener hyphen attached true. So we are attaching the listener. So after attaching the listener, we are adding this add event listener. So this is like click one. Whenever we are clicking, we are calling this on download click. And for this one, we are passing the this command. So what it will do? So this will run the current context and it will show whenever we have clicked download button listener is attached for the current instance, like that it will show. So once we are creating that time only we are calling this function immediately after this one. So initially it will call this function and then I am adding one observer so that what it will do. So this is like SharePoint list toolbar re-rendered dynamically. Whenever we select or deselect the files and switch the views or using the context menu. So in all those cases, this situation observer is like a browser API that watches the changes in the DOM and added or remove the elements that we have performed. So within this we have added. So every time when we are performing something, it will attach our handler. And then this code that observer, we are providing the document dot body and we are checking the child items true and subtree as a true, right? So it will add or remove the elements and across the entire page. So this will ensures that our handler stays active no matter how many times we refresh the UI element, like changing the views, all these things. So after that, we are in the console, we are giving one message like we are watching this download button re-render. So here whenever we are clicking the download button, we are adding an event listener and within this we are calling this on download click method, right? So now we will see what we have written on this function. So in this method, I have written try and catch block. So in the try block, I am retrieving the selected rows. So this dot context dot list view dot selected rows will retrieve how many rows I have selected. Those count will be stored in the selected rows. And then I am checking if selected rows is containing the value and its length is greater than 0, then we are retrieving the files of that selected rows. So selected rows dot map will retrieve all the rows like entire record. From that, using this get value by name, we are retrieving the file reference. So it will retrieve the file names and that will be stored in these file names. And then using this dot context dot page context dot user dot display name, we are retrieving the current logged in username and storing into this user variable. Now whenever we have clicked, we are showing one alert, right? So username downloaded that file names comma. So if I'm selecting multiple files, you can see that so when I click on download, you can see Patty Fernandez downloaded those two file names. So this alert message is doing all these things. After showing the alert message, we are calling send download email. So for that we are passing the file names and users. So then only we can able to show that file names and username in the email, right? So all these things we are performing in the on download click method. Now, in case if we face any issues in the catch block, we are showing that error in this console. And this is the final function which is sending the email to that particular user. So whenever we are calling this send download email, we are passing file names and user. So this method also retrieving that file names and user in this format. And at starting only, we are showing some message like preparing send email through the Microsoft Graph Client v3 in the console. And then we are retrieving this Microsoft Graph Client v3 as a client. So to retrieve this one, this is the API we need to call this dot context dot ms graph client factory dot get client of 3. So this is the latest version we are using currently now. After getting that object, then we are passing the dot then method and retrieving this Microsoft Graph client v3 into this client variable. So now this client is containing the Microsoft Graph client v3 instance. So after retrieving, we are also within this only we are also fetching site URL site name. So to fetch that one, this dot context dot page context dot web dot absolute URL will retrieve the site URL and this will return the site name. And I have created one variable email body. Within that, I am providing all the email bodies. So here you can see hi. Within the paragraph, I have provided hi, my name. You can change this you with your name. And then within the paragraph, I am showing this is to inform you that the username dynamically I am providing has downloaded these files from the SharePoint site URL I have provided so that they can click on it. And site name also we are giving. So with the site name, whenever they are clicking, that site URL will be open. And those in the UL, like in the order list only, we are showing what are the files they have downloaded. And this is the SharePoint system. Now in the email, that message also I have mentioned. So the content type is the HTML and content is email body, whatever I have created, I passed into this email. And the email address, I am giving the email recipient at starting only I have shown. So here my email address I have given, right? That one I passed into this one. Now this email is containing the email body and also email recipient address. Now for the client which we have created previously, for that only dot API slash me send email. This is the API which is posting the email dot post. In within that we are passing the email. So this dot then will send that email. We can also see that in the console. And in case if we face any issues, this is like this catch will show that errors. I hope you understand how to customize the SharePoint list or libraries default command bar and context menu buttons using SPFx list view command set extension. Thank you for watching this video and don't forget to subscribe our channel.